What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful day today, but hot. Temperature is up. It's 90 degrees right now in LA and 43% humidity. But in the sun, it feels a lot hotter, and it's going to get hotter Thursday and Friday. So anyway, I'm going to make some octopus right now. That's the octopus. Cleaned it, put it in the boiling water here, and I do about 25 minutes boiling per pound. So this is a pound and a half. I'll do around 45 minutes, and then we're gonna grill it or fry it. I'll fry it. Very hot, and this thing does not help when it's hot out. So I'm going to put it there, and I got like half sun, half shade. See what time it is first. All right. Yeah, today I was up early. I'm up 6 o'clock every morning. I'm up at 6, and it was all right. You know, this morning was a little bit not cool, but it was good temperature. And brought my kids to school, and then I went and I bought this fine octopi, very intelligent. I've seen a video of an octopus. It's in a container, small opening. The octopus figures out how to get out of that. This is on a ship. It's on a big boat. Octopus gets out of the little opening there because it's not, has no bones, and somehow does his little maneuvering on the floor of the ship and falls off the side and goes back into the ocean. It knew that the ocean was not too far away. So today is not a good day for the desert. Oh, it's a nice breeze. Nice breeze. So we have this possum that lives somewhere in here, and it's very friendly. It sees me, and now it recognizes me, and it'll watch me from a distance, like maybe 10 feet away, looking at me. Yeah, they're not, like rats. These are very clean animals. They have a very low rate of rabies. And there used to be 2 of them. I think the mother, the big one, moved on and left the baby behind. This is the baby one. When they would come here originally at the beginning of the summer, the baby possum was like that big. And the mother was big and chunky. I don't know what they find to eat around here, but they find something. So, yeah, last night he was out here roaming around, and he's put on some weight. Yeah, I don't know. I think, there's some hiding spot they go and sleep during the day. I want to go get a spoon or something, move it around. All right, I am back. Being next to this right now and getting a whiff of the air, it makes you, if you had your eyes closed, you would think you were right next to the Atlantic Ocean. Has that smell. So when I was a kid, and to this day, I was fascinated with airplanes. Went on my first airplane trip when I was 3. And there was something about it, just looking at them, and you know when you get that feeling when you're really into something, I had that feeling inside. And I went on a long plane ride in '71. Still remember it, things like that you remember. And always fascinated with airplanes, especially the bigger ones like the jumbo jet 747s, and now of course the Airbuses. But I am still a big fan of the 747 design over the Airbus, although the Airbus is a good product. And I always wanted to know how to make paper airplanes. Love that, you know, gliding thing. You go up to a high spot and release it, and all of a sudden it just goes and goes and goes. So there were the simpler ones, the pointy ones that looked like a Concorde without the broken front. And I remember, couldn't figure it out. You know, nobody would show you as a kid. It was like a secret. And then I was at a meeting with my father. My father had gone. He was at a meeting, and I was kind of like, you know, looking around, and I saw on the floor one of those airplanes, paper airplanes. So I took it home and reverse engineered and figured it out. And though that, you know, very simple, but I'm not going to make that one now. But my favorite one was the one with the triangle bottom, where your hand, the 2 fingers go and you let it go. And depending on how you design the wings, sometimes you'd get it go fast and land fast. Other times it would just float. And other times it would take off like this and then flip on its back and keep going. I don't know what they call this airplane, but some kid at school showed me in the 3rd grade how to do it, and I've been making them ever since. So you need a piece of paper. Doesn't matter if it has lines on it. You fold it in half lengthwise, just as a guide, and then you have that shape. And then you take the right side or left side first, it does not matter. You make like a triangle shape up top. So you have that, and then you repeat, you fold it over. So you have this shape, and then you take the top and fold it down. So now you have this shape, if you can see that. Very simple. Now, once you have this this triangle shape here, you take the corners and you flip them in like, I'll show you. You flip it in like that, and you repeat it on the other side. Just what happens on one side happens on the other. So you have that shape, and then I like to cut into the paper a little bit. It gives it a better grip. You take this little tip here and you will fold it onto itself. So I always cut a little bit. Wow, very nice. So you have this shape here. Okay. Once you have that, you fold it in reverse. So you basically get this shape. And then the wings, depending on what kind of flight you want, because if you make them narrow, it changes everything. If you make them wide, it changes things. So I do it different every time. So you get that shape. See the triangle on the bottom there? That's where your hand goes, and you get this shape here. Now you can make the wings a lot wider by getting them further down, but for me this works. I do it different ways, like I said. There's no standard LAPD. When they came up with that sound, they said, what's the most annoying sound? And they came up with that. It's like, get out of my way. Wow, I'm crying. Get out of the way. So I don't know who came up with that. Anyway, this is a plane. What I love most about these is that you can make them so they glide, slow motion. I would go up on a high spot and release it and just watch it. Mama's boy. You hear that? That's the sound of a mama's boy rushing to get home. Go down to the basement. On the way down, get a little kiss from your mom. That's that sound, hurrying to get home. Yeah, still hurrying, thinking of mom. Thinking of mom and the basement. All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna give it a fling. Oh yeah. That's a good one. That's a glider. That's a glider. Used to play those in school. You know, in school, you get older, you think differently. You know, your mind develops more, and you don't find those things appealing anymore. In school, you should sit and just listen to what the instructions are, and don't fool around. But in school, I would make a miniature version of this, very small, maybe a quarter the size, and I would have a friend of mine on the other side, and when the teacher would turn around to write on the blackboard, I would take that little plane and I would hurl it, and the plane would glide on the other side. My friend would grab it and then do it again, back and forth. In school, never did it on the bus. One time, a kid did it on the bus. This is a long time before. And the teacher thought, turns around and saw me and him. I was sitting, you know, behind him, and said, you and you after school. It wasn't me. And I took the blame so we could go home. And that kid, you know, he just agreed that I would take the blame. I said, I'll tell him I did it, we'd go home. And he didn't say, you know what, I'll say I did it, because I actually did it. So he made a small airplane. He did a little toss like that, and the window on the bus was open. We were coming home from a field trip, and the plane went out the window. My teacher saw that, and this teacher was a bit of a prick to begin with, so he was always looking for a reason to be even more of a prick. So he saw that, and he nabbed me and him, and he didn't want to get in trouble. I guess he had enough on his record, and I didn't feel like staying any longer. So I said to the teacher, can we go to the bathroom? And on the way down, I said to him, I'm going to tell him I did it, since you're not admitting to it. I go, I know you did it, because I'm watching you. You sat in front of me, and I saw you do it. And he knew he did it. So anyway, I got a few detentions for that. But, you know, the other thing that was a big thing, spitballs and a straw. In second grade, I had a friend named Tony, good friend, and we would get straws from the cafeteria during lunchtime, and then we'd come up and there was math paper. Remember that plain old math paper? And we'd make little balls and put them in the straw, and then blow into the straw and get that like a BB to fly across the room. And you'd get all these the goodies, you know, because they would get embarrassed quickly, and they'd look, you know, and the teacher would look at it and say, what's the matter? And then they'd get all like red. So in the second grade, there was this girl. She had a part in her hair, and it was all like tied on the sides. And I decided I was gonna see how many spitballs can I get in that part without her noticing. So she was talking and talking to this, and then I would go by and I'd put spitball 1, 2, 3. I had like 6 spitballs in the part here before she noticed. And I don't know, you don't feel the weight, you don't feel something, you know, like, I don't know, she didn't feel it. And then somebody told her, you gotta, and then she knocked them on, and she was all embarrassed. Second grade. So, yeah, there were other things like that I thought were dangerous. You could take somebody's eye out. I didn't do this, but you take a rubber band and create like a slingshot with it. But instead of a pebble or whatever, kids would take the paper clips, bend them until you have 2 parts of the paper clip, and you would hook half of it and pull back, well, like this, pull back and release it, and that metal piece would fly through the air. Now, if it would hit you on the, you know, your clothes, no big deal. But if that caught you in the eye, that would cause damage. Luckily, from the kids that would do that, they never ended up hitting anybody in the face. Otherwise, would have been a big problem. Stupid things you do as a kid. Your mind in the front is not developed enough, so that's why all the crazy stuff happens, you know, before the age of 25. Some people before the age of 40, they still doing that stuff, you know. And you know, I like these people, they blame, you know, they'll find, remember you did that when you were like 5, 6. Yeah, I'm not 5 or 6, moron. You know, are you the same person you were when you were 5 or 6? I don't think so. Of course you do crazy things when you're younger, some people, you know. Got a scam likely. And then the boat, remember the boat? You take a paper like, you know, one of these things, fold it in half. Well, yeah, the boat, let me see if this is the right now. So you have to adjust it. It has to be a square. This is like a rectangle. So I'll try with this. So you take this, you fold it over. So you get one of these things, and then the bottom, that's just to give you the shape you need. What you don't need is this bottom part. And you take the bottom part, this part here, and you cut it off. You cut that off, put that in the dumpster, and then now you have a square, and you make a boat out of this, or a hat. So you fold it over in half, and then you take this half and fold it over again in half. And then you take one of these pieces and fold it on this side here. And then there's 3 pieces on this side, and you fold these pieces like this. So now you can get a little hat out of this. If this was a bigger piece, you get a little hat, right? But in this case, you're gonna get a boat that will float. So once you have that, you fold it, and then you end up with a boat. and you get a boat, and that'll float because it rhymes. Anything that rhymes works. That's why songs that rhyme are better than songs that don't rhyme. Look at that. And the inside there. So that and then there's another thing. This one I haven't done in a while, but this one you have to make into a square as well. This is a ball. We'd make this ball and just throw it around like I lived in the 1930s or something. Could have bought a tennis ball, but we just, you know, we'd make this. And I remember everybody would ask me, how'd you make that? Can you show me how to make that? And then I'd have like a little class and show everybody how to make this. So you end up with a square, and you fold it in half, and you fold it in half again, so you get a box, little box. I keep spinning it. I don't want it to not cook on some spots. And then once you get this box, you find the loose corners, and you bend it. No, that is incorrect. That's how you make the boat. So you got, this is how you do it. So you take this and this. It's been years. Yeah, I didn't practice before I made this video. So you take this corner here, pinch it, this corner here, pinch it, and you create this shape. It all comes back to you. They call it muscle memory, but that's not what it is. Muscle memory is when you've worked out your whole life and then you let yourself get out of shape, and then you work out again and you get back in shape a lot faster than somebody who hasn't worked out ever. That's muscle memory. A lot of people, they say muscle memory, and it's got nothing to do with their muscles. It's brain memory. So you get this triangle shape now. That's the hardest part of this whole thing, to get this triangle shape. And then what you do is you take the four corners and you bend them into the main body. So you get this shape. Corners bend, they bend into each other. See? Do that on the four. Once you do that, there's an opening that is created, and you take there's an opening, but let me see here. I made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, I missed a step. Yeah, I'm missing a step before this somehow. I may not do this now. Yeah, so yeah, I screwed up a step. So you got to get this shape, So it's this, and then you grab it like this, and it folds into this shape. So you gotta make a triangle like that. Now you bend the corners, like from bottom to this, get that corner. It's been years, believe me, it's been a while. I used to make these all the time when I was like 5th, 6th grade, but I'm not that way anymore, you know. So now it'll work. So now you get this shape, like a diamond or a little box. Now you bend the corners. See these corners? Now you're gonna bend them. I skipped a step. It's like trying to cheat on, you know, when you buy furniture at IKEA and you think you can make it quicker without following the directions, and you skip things and then you put it together, nothing works. That's what I did right now. Now you take these corners, all 4 of them, you bend one at a time. Sometimes, not right now, but sometimes when LAX is backed up, you will see the same planes making big rotations, like big rotations, and you'll look and it's the same one going around, and they're on a holding pattern. And then they say, okay, you can come in now. All right, now you get this shape. See that? And now you're able to take the corners and bend them into these openings here. So that's one. You get the opening of the triangle and put in the top corner so it secures itself. And then you do it to the other side. All right. So you end up with this shape. And then there's an opening in the front where you fill it up with air. And you get a ball. And we used to, you know, like make one of these and just swat it around. And everybody would say, how'd you make that? How'd you make that? And then sometimes you would draw an image inside, and everybody would be looking inside like it was a kaleidoscope. So things we used to do. Nobody does that anymore. Now, you know what they do? They stay on the iPhone playing all day or texting. Back then we just call up. You're like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. What are you doing? Nothing. Watching TV. That was it. You know, if you want to talk to somebody. Now, I would talk on the phone, and then I would arrange to go somewhere. And my mother would always say, if you're going somewhere, why do you talk so long on the phone? Why can't you say all these things when you meet up? Well, I don't know. I don't know why. You know, we got more things to say later on. That's why I wanted to get these things out of the way. But, you know, you don't really plan it like that. You know, you don't say, hey, listen, let's cut this short. Let's go somewhere and discuss these topics in person. No, you just discuss them on the phone, and then when you get together, you have nothing to say in the car. So It was fun. You know, other people used to do those, you know, those things where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, pick a number, and then pick another number, and 3, 4, 5. I never got into that thing. And then they'd peel it back, and it would say something, you will meet a girl today, or you will lose your wallet, or something, you know, some stupid prediction. Not a cloud in the sky right now, nothing. Nothing. You know what I've never had? I've never had those seahorses. I don't know if are they edible? I don't know. Or starfish. You know, put them in like a flour and then fry them. Never had them. They look kind of hard to eat. You know, sometimes jokingly I'll go to a restaurant and like a seafood place, and my wife and my daughters, they order first. They get priority with that. I sit back and wait, and then they'll say, what about you? And then I'll say, you have any like fried jellyfish? And 9 times out of 11 they think I'm being serious, and they're very polite about it. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that. Like many years ago, I was driving cross country, and I stopped at a rest stop, I guess, and it had one of those places you can go in and buy things, and in one portion it had a food section where you could order burgers and stuff like that, and I went and ordered fried rats with tomato sauce. And the girl, she thought I was being serious, and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that, we don't have that. And then she would give me like a, you know, it's all in the eyes, the truth of how somebody feels about you. That brief second where you see a reaction in their eye, and then they correct it because they don't want you to. Yeah, she had that like, you know, like that look. You can't hide the eyes, no matter how hard you try. I don't care who you are, the eyes tell the truth. If somebody doesn't like what you said, if somebody disagrees with you, if somebody doesn't like you, you can notice it in the eyes. But you have to be quick about it, because the human mind is clever enough to remove that look immediately, because it realizes what it just did. So it'll be like, oh, and then you put a fake smile on. People that smile a lot, those are the ones you have to worry about. Those are the fake ones. You know, they're presenting this image. That's why I don't like smiling in photos. If you don't feel like smiling, don't, you know, it looks artificial, don't do it. Just take a photo. You know, why do you have to smile in a photo? To give the image that you're friendly? If you're friendly, you're friendly. A smile doesn't make you friendly. A smile is kind of like a disguise for somebody who's not friendly. Yeah, you go down there and they're like, hey, smile. So I'll say a quick story about the smile thing. Hold on, I gotta respond. My daughter had a question, so, you know, I try to respond to those instamatically, unless I don't see it, you know, I'm doing something. But if I see it, I respond immediately. ly. It's an adverb. So anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So a few years ago, I went to an auction, and the auction was Sylvester Stallone was auctioning off all his stuff from the movies, the Rocky, the Rambo, you name it. Every movie was, all the stuff was there. I got to see everything. I saw the Rambo stuff, the Rocky stuff, Cobra, anything that he was in was there. Anything, and I mean anything. He collected everything. So it was all there, you know, I saw it, and then he was there too. He was talking, you know, doing his thing, and I was standing right next to him, like literally, like maybe, you know, 2 feet apart. And some people were going up to him, you know, hey, can I get a picture? And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, I'll do it after. I didn't want to bother him too much, you know. It's like, you know, I felt like if I asked him, he'd be like, yeah, I just did one. I just did one, you didn't notice? So I didn't ask him, and then later on, when I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll do it now, I was late. So just as I'm thinking, he turns around and waves at everybody, one of these waves that he does, and he left. So it was a 2-day auction. I said, all right, well, tomorrow I'll be back. And went back the next day, that he was not there. And I'm going to say Chuck Zito was there. Chuck Zito is a very, in real life, I don't know, you know, it's not like I met him, you know, for hours there talking to him, but for that brief period that I was there and I was talking to him, very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. Believe me when I say he was very nice, very accommodating, very polite, you know. And I asked him for a picture, and immediately he said, yeah, sure. He goes, hey. He did a pose for me, and we took a picture together. But I was impressed by him. And then I bumped into Frank Stallone. He was over there doing his little boxing moves and stuff. And I said, I'm going to ask him. So I asked him, can I get a picture with you? I didn't say like Stallone did in Rocky 3, where he said, let me get a Polaroid. So he said sure to that. And I gave my phone to the guy that he was with, some friend of his, and I'm just posing there, you know, and he's not doing anything, you know, I don't know what he's not doing anything beyond that. And the guy decides, the guy that's going to take the picture, he's looking at me and he's like, hey man, come on, smile. And I look over at Frank and he's kind of nodding, and I'm like, you're not smiling either. Why am I being told to smile? You're not smiling. If I, you know, you get this little, I don't know what he had on that day. It was not a smile, it was like a smirk. And the guy told me like 3 times to smile. I want to tell him, snap the picture and don't worry about the smile. Why do you need a smile for? You know, what is this, going up on your wall at your house? So I didn't do much of a smile. I did a grin. I followed the lead of Frank. So I will say Frank was very nice as well. He was very nice. You know, he was talking to everybody there, doing the rounds, and I didn't get to see Stallone that day again. Otherwise, I would have asked for the photo. So, it was a few years later. I'm at the car wash, and I'm with my mother there. You know, like I had her with me that day, and I said I want to go get the car washed. I'm over at Century City. And I'm waiting, you know, they have my car there. You know, it's one of those full service places where they, you know, drive through the thing and then they vacuum everything, they polish it for you, they add a little bit of cologne in there. So as I'm waiting, I see a Bronco, an older one, pull in. And immediately I recognize that the driver is Frank Stallone. So he gets out, and I don't know, the way he got out, his cell phone, his iPhone fell out and hit the concrete below, and he was pissed off. Grabbed it, and he started walking, and you know, that angry walk, and he had that look on his face, like. So when he got about 10 feet from me, I said, hey Frank, what's up? And he looked at me like, gave me like one of those things, like a little bit embarrassed, you know, that he made that reaction with the phone. But I understand that. I understand. My phone drops and I get annoyed with that. So, yeah, he went in to pay, you know, for the car wash. And then my car came out, this one behind me, and I left, so I didn't get to talk to him. But the day that I talked to him at the auction, he was very, very friendly, very nice. But Zito really, I tell people Zito's really nice guy. Really impressed me. You know, I mean, Hell's Angels guy, you know, maybe you'd think he'd be a little bit more abrasive, but not in that environment. Maybe behind the scenes he is, but there where he's dealing with the, you know, fans and stuff, he was very kind. So that's it, but I get to see all the stuff. And I will say that as far as the knives go from the Rambo movies, they're not that impressive in real life when you look at them. They look a little bit fake, which I think they just don't have that the high quality you expect that you see on screen. A little bit cheesy looking. And I used to be a fan of that Rambo knife years ago, but it's not practical. First of all, it's not balanced. Hollow handles are not good. They throw the balance off, and you know, you can't handle the knife as well. And not only that, the stuff that's in there, are you ever going to use it? Really, you're going to go fishing with that or sew up your arm? I don't think so. I will say something I did like, and I haven't thought of it since those days, but I did like in one of the movies, I think it may be Expendables, the boots he wore are roofer boots. You know, the guys that do the roofs, those are roofer boots, and for some reason he chose those for that movie. And I've always been a fan of those. They're very durable. You know, the suede ones, I like the leather ones, but suede is very durable because it doesn't get damaged like leather would. So he had those, they went up for auction. He had some of the stuff that I noticed there, well, all the stuff, but the stuff I noticed, the boots from the Rambo movie, the first one was there, all of them were there. They were extra big though, because he likes to put a little bit of the platform in there. Anyway, this is about done. So, let's fry it up. What's up, how you doing? Here I am, I'm back. The octopus has been boiled, and it's about 1.5 pounds, so I boiled it for about 45 minutes. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, olive oil, California, first harvest, virgin, cold press, lemon. And we have a beer here. I've never had this before. It's Germany, country of origin. It's a Paulaner, since 1634, and it's a lager. 1634. Look at that. And we'll try a little bit. First time, never had this. Nice golden color. Looks like it's going to be a good beer. Well, they've had a lot of experience. 1634, it's a lot of time. Look at that. It's a good beer. Looks good. I haven't tried it yet. And the flies, they smell seafood here, you know. Cheers. Good beer. Drink in moderation. Don't operate heavy machinery. You're going to wrap yourself around a telephone pole or a oak tree. Drink at home, or drink only a little when you go out. So, here's the octopus. Right there. We're going to cut them up. and then fry them up. Have a little flour there. I'm a big fan of the flavor of octopus. Looks like a lot, but it goes fast. Put some olive oil here, heat it up. This is such a good, really good color. Very green. I'm a big fan of green olive oil. Not a fan of that extra light yellow stuff. Not a fan. So we heat this up. But the beer, you know, it's pretty good. It's a solid beer. Yeah, good flavor. I've had that in the fridge, and then I put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Bring the temperature down. I'm not a fan of warm beer. I understand the concept, so warm beer brings out the flavor of the beer. I understand, but I don't care about that as much as having it cold. I don't know, I mean, I'm thinking octopus must have some good ingredients in it, right? Besides protein. I saw a video, a guy had a 20-pound octopus. My father would go snorkeling when he was a bit younger, and he told me a story that sometimes when you would do that, you'd get the octopus kind of like tangling around you, and then he was always afraid that it would wrap around his legs and try and pull him under. I go, how big is this octopus? They go, some of them are big. But he told me once that he was deep in the water and off the coast of some island, and he said that all of a sudden he felt the water get cooler, and he looked over in the distance under the water there, and he could see sharp rock formations. Said it looked creepy. So I've never done that. I've never been scuba diving. Sounds interesting, but then, you know, what about you don't do it right and you start taking in water and you're like 300 feet down? That's not fun. Almost coming to the end. I gotta rinse my hands. Gotta rinse the hands. I don't know. I have to rinse the hands that feed me. Too much slippery stuff. That's what the hot oil is for. I'll be back. I will be back. Alright, I am back. Clean the hands, soap, warm water. Minimum 20 seconds of manipulating. Man, today is hot. I feel it right now. See, how is it? A little bit longer. Yeah, it's Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow and Friday is gonna really get hot. Let's see. Yes, it's good. It smells great. Smells great. I wish you had a nap. You could smell the aroma. Delicious. So, you know, I'm going to add salt, pepper, garlic, and a ton of lemon. Nice cold beer. It says original Munich brewing tradition. I'm back. Nice. Very nice. I need a knife. I'm not going to cut the lemon with this knife. I will be back again and again and again and again, just like the highwaymen. I am back. That's a good lemon. Very rich. I will try one. But very good. So good. It was on sale today for some reason. $20 a pound. I will bring it inside so everyone else can have some. Really good flavor though, and tender. All right. All right, they look done to me. I don't want to overcook them, and then they rubberize. Maybe that one. The flies are coming out to get us. Remember that movie, The Fly? That's it. Little olive oil on top. You can never have enough olive oil. A little more lemon. A little more lemon. That's it. Beautiful. Look at this. And then you see them go down. So I will be back. Alright, I am back. So I brought the octopus in. It's more like an appetizer. And it turned out well. Turned out well. Now I have pork. I'm going to make some pork for dinner. Crow. And I'm going to use clarified butter. It has a higher burning point. Alright, good stuff. Now, I'm going to turn this on, not too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly fry the pork in here with garlic and salt, and then I'm going to bring it and put it in the oven. I just want to get a crispy outer layer. I had it in the fridge, so very solid. It's melting rapidly. Garlic. Still hot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 cloves. I just want a little flavor. You can smell that. Put a little more clarified butter. Himalayan pink salt in there, grass-fed, 4th and Heart. Yeah, that butter and garlic give a great smell. Okay, so we apply. Nice. This is just to give it a bit of a crust. I will finish it off in the oven. Beautiful night. You know what I appreciate? Acapella music, nighttime. So I'll give you an example. I'm sitting here in the backyard, cooking, nice smell, and way in the distance I can hear voices singing acapella. I don't want anything other than the voices. I want the bass being done by a voice, and I don't want any distortion on that. But I really like the music flowing the night, into the night. I'm sitting here and I'm just having a meal, and I could hear 1950s music. Everybody knows the 50s were never completed. And back I had to shut off the rice. Perfect. I also enjoy whistling. I'm a big fan of, most people don't know this guy now, Roger Whittaker. I think he died recently. Love Roger Whittaker. There's a song that touches me deep inside, and it's called New World in the Morning. He's got a lot of songs that touch me, but that one in particular, New World in the Morning. Sad song. LAPD, I don't know, they're looking. I do that, I think, at Colombo. I want to get something. I'll be back in a flash. I'm back. Had to get one of these. Okay. Put that there. Another one there. This one needs a minute. I can put salt. All right. The smell, though, is delicious. That's what opens up your appetite. The street lights are not on yet. They come on different times. You'd think that they want an automatic switch, but no. Sometimes they come on depending on, I guess, the brightness. Sometimes they come on 20 minutes earlier, sometimes 20 minutes later. I don't know, some guys probably falling asleep. Oh, I gotta turn the lights on. They just turned on. That is a coincidence. I did that, and the second I did that, like I'm the Fonz jukebox. So I'm going to mention something briefly about Evel Knievel. Not about him like directly, but indirectly, kind of indirectly. So there was a book, I mentioned this on my channel a while back, called Life Extension, written by Dirk Pearson and Sandy Sharp. And there was a little small section in that book where they mentioned Evel Knievel. And I remember reading that book decades ago, and when I bumped into that, I go, wow, fascinating. So they were saying in the book that Evel Knievel was able to heal extremely fast, and they attributed that to natural released growth hormone. You know, when you're younger, you release that naturally. You don't have to take anything for that. And they were saying he must have had a high release of that, and so his injuries would heal quickly. But then at some point, you know, like in his late 30s or whatever, the growth hormones dropped, and so he wasn't able to heal as quickly. And kind of, I think they were implying, or they said that he retired because of the slower healing process. And found that very interesting when I read that back then. Evel Knievel and Life Extension, a practical scientific approach. If you ever get your hands on a copy in some antique bookstore, go. I think it's in the back, or it's in the area where they talk about Mr. Smith. I think it's there. Or you can go to the index. The index will give it away. Just look up Evel Knievel. Very good color. And then when I take them out of the oven, I will add a little bit of olive oil. Finish it off with olive oil. And then we have the rice, and you know, if they had the snack of the octopus, I think we're okay for tonight. Human body is not that efficient. You should be able to eat one of these, and the body should be able to remove all the atoms out of it, and you should be able to eat once a month. That's it. You know. So we're not efficient. If we were, we would eat one peanut, and that peanut would go like a month. That's a good design. Not every 3 hours you're hungry, 4 hours, whatever. Constantly have to be hunting and looking for food, especially in the ancient times. A lot of people died of starvation. A lot of people die now of starvation. Not in the United States, but in other countries, still a problem. You design something, you make it more efficient, or you make it like plants, photosynthesis. think these are good. These are good quality. They're organic. Organic. And like I said, I'm going to put them in the oven now for a bit. Cook them through. This was just to get them a little crispy, as I have repeated before. Smells great. Anyway, gonna go inside, and I'm done out here. Capiche? Capiche. All right. Ciao for now.